Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone. Uh, we want to welcome you guys. We're going to give a few minutes so everybody can join, but please come on in, get comfortable. We have some great information to share with everybody today. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for sharing the good tidings this morning and everybody saying good morning in the chat. Just a quick note so you will know we're not going to be utilizing the chat or hands raised through the presentation. We will end the presentation and then open up the floor for questions from everyone. So, unless you're having a problem with your audio or some problem with seeing the presentation or anything, those things you can communicate to us in chat, but questions about the grant or anything like that we're going to hold to the end so everybody can get responses together and get all of their questions answered. We're going to get started right around 10:03, so let's give everybody a few more minutes to get in. Welcome and good morning, everyone. Come on in. We still have a few minutes. We're going to give people a few more minutes to keep joining. I would like to address if there is anyone who is a student that is looking for the WIOA program for training. This is not what you need. This is specifically for businesses. If you own a business in the city of Chicago. So if you are a business owner and you're not in the city of Chicago, this grant would not fund your efforts. And if you're a student looking for funding through the WIOA program, I don't want you to have to sit through the presentation just to find out that this is not the right place. So we did have a number of students who registered incorrectly and we were able to get in contact with them. We just want to make sure if there's anybody on the call, we will put up some information where you can get in contact with a WIOA representative or a coach here at E&ES that can help you through that and give you your training information that you need. So thanks for that question. Once we get going with the presentation, so I'm assuming we do have some WIOA people or people who are here for their COIs. So no, this particular grant is only for businesses who are training their staff. Then they have to be located in the city of Chicago, brick and mortar business here in Chicago. But if you look in the chat, you will see a, a website page for E&ES for jobs.com. This is where you can look up our WIOA services and our workforce solutions, our workforce services. So you can go to eesforjobs.com and you can look up for the WIOA program. You can find out about the schedule and the orientations and everything you need to do for that. This is not for CDLs, not for the WIOA program. Okay, everyone. Gonna wait one more minute and get started. I want to make sure that those students get an opportunity to get what they need and then they can log off. So good morning again to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We want to make sure that you are in the right place for the right webinar. If you are a student and you're looking for the WIOA program for CDLs and other types of training, please see the chat. There's been a website page added where you can get access to training services for WIOA. Also, one of the requirements of this grant is that you are a business located in the city of Chicago, brick and mortar. And so we want to make sure that we utilize your time correctly as well. If you are not a business in the city of Chicago, this particular grant would not support your efforts. Okay, with that being said, I hope that everybody is in their appropriate place. So going forward, we will not be utilizing the hand raise feature or the chat while the presentation is taking place. We really want you to focus in and get the information so that you can formulate any questions that you might have about your particular business at the end of the presentation. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So I want to introduce our first person to you. Her name is Lahia Everett. She is with the Department of Planning and Development, and she's going to welcome you all and give you some great information. Lahia.
Thank you, Audrey. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Ligia Ibarres, and I manage the Workforce Solutions Program with the city's Department of Planning and Development, Small Business Development Bureau. And joining me is my colleague, David Diaz, who works closely with me on this program. Thank you all for being here today and for the outstanding work you do as small business owners. Your dedication and drive are what makes Chicago truly exceptional. We deeply appreciate the time, energy, and investment you put not only into your businesses, but also into strengthening the communities around you. We are especially excited to connect with employers and business owners who are committed to growing their teams and investing in talent. We understand that running a business comes with unique challenges, from staying competitive in a fast moving market to attracting and retaining skilled workers. For small businesses, every dollar and every decision matters. That's why programs like this grant are so important. They're designed to help you stretch your training budget further by reimbursing up to 100% of eligible training costs for current employees and new hires, with a maximum grant award of up to $250,000. Whether you're growing your team or helping current staff learn new skills, this program makes workforce development more affordable. We're excited to share information on the Workforce Solutions Program. This enhanced version built on the legacy program some of you may be familiar with. Over the past few years, we've made meaningful improvements to expand our reach and better support businesses citywide, making this a truly exciting time for our team and the communities we serve. Joining us today is our Program Administrator, Employment and Employer Services, who will be walking us through the presentation. If you've had the pleasure of working with them before, you know firsthand how valuable they are in supporting Chicago's small business community. They will be instrumental in guiding applicants through the application process and ensuring smooth project management. Additionally, please don't hesitate to reach out to DPD and use our office as a resource. We're here to support your business and we're ready to listen and offer support in any way we can. Thank you all again for being here today. I will now turn it over to Anissa Jones, Senior Vice President for E&ES.
Thank you, Lahia. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anissa Jones, and as Lahia said, I'm a Senior Vice President at Employment and Employer Services. We are very grateful to be here to partner today with Chicago Department of Planning and Development for the City of Chicago's Workforce Solutions Program, and to serve as their program administrator. A little bit about our agency. We were founded in 1983, and we've been around to support local businesses and community residents for over 40 years. Our agency is really dedicated to advancing the economic foundation of communities by building a skilled workforce, and we're happy to be able to do that today to support nonprofits as well as businesses with achieving that goal, also through the Workforce Solutions Program. So as the program administrator, we'll be responsible for overseeing the day-to-day needs of the program and operations. We'll be working closely with each of you as an applicant to support you through the full grant cycle and life cycle of this opportunity. And we'll be there to provide you with hands-on technical assistance to make sure that you have a successful experience through this process. We're very committed to strengthening the workforce, and we hope you all will take advantage of this much needed training and upskilling. And again, we're happy that you're here and able to join us today, and I will turn it back over to Audrey, who will lead us today in today's information session.
Hello and welcome, everyone. We are excited that you are here today. My name is Audrey Johnson. I'm the Program Director for the Workforce Solutions Program. If you apply for this grant, you're going to be working directly with me and my team. We're excited to have you here. So let's go over a quick overview of what we're going to discuss today. We want to break down what is Workforce Solutions, eligibility and funding, grant calculator examples, ineligible businesses, business location, application process, reimbursements, visits and monitoring, closeout steps, frequently asked questions, next steps, additional resources, and then, like I said earlier, we're not going to take questions in the chat right now, but we will have a whole Q&A period where you can ask your questions in person and get live answers. What is Workforce Solutions? Workforce Solution Grant covers qualified training for current employee upskilling and new hire on-the-job training, leadership development, technology skills, and much more. Workforce Solutions reimbursement grants are funded through the City of Chicago via TIF, Tax Increment Financing, or proceeding from the Housing and Economic Development Bond. So you'll hear us refer to TIF or bond funding. Grants may be up to 100% of eligible expenses for businesses seeking to train your current employees and or any new hires. Eligibility requirements. Are you located in, expanding into, or relocated to the city of Chicago? Workforce training for permanent full-time or permanent part-time staff. A commitment to remain in community area for at least 3 years. Financially prepared to support training costs. I just want to repeat that one. You must be financially prepared to support training costs. $250,000 is the grant limit within a 3-year waiting period after limit is reached. There are eligible industries. We welcome non-for-profits, food service, tourism and hospitality, healthcare and life sciences, manufacturing and industrial, informational technology, real estate, finance, insurance, retail, energy, education and training, transportation, distribution, and logistics. Of course, this is not an all-inclusive list. If you have any questions about your specific industry, please reach out to the Workforce Solutions Program Director. That's me, and I'll help you decide how you move forward. What will Workforce Solutions fund? What type of activities? The Workforce Solutions Program can fund training. This whole program is about training. You can train your current employees. You can train new hires who are on the job, but they must be Chicago residents only. You can train in leadership development. You can get training for instructors' wages, trainers' fee for your incumbent or current workers. You can get training supplies and materials, but they must be associated with the direct cost of training, such as a workbook that is needed for that particular training. There's training rental of equipment. We do not purchase equipment, but you can rent equipment that's needed for training purposes. Customized training curriculum. So just a quick funding overview. The Workforce Solutions Program is reimbursable. It's a reimbursement grant. So can't say reimbursement. It's a reimbursement grant that can fund up to 100% of total eligible projects cost, up to a standard maximum of $250,000. So reimbursement means you pay for it up front and then you get your money back. So here's our projects that are eligible for 100% of reimbursement. Under commercial businesses, if you are up to 1.5 million in annual sales, you can get 100% of your eligible costs back. If you're industrial and you have a maximum of 40 full-time employees, that is also eligible cost at 100%. And all non-for-profits are 100% eligible costs can be paid back to you. To continue with that ideal, there are some businesses that are going to have a 25% contribution. So in commercial businesses who have up to 5 million in annual sales, in industrial businesses who have a maximum of 125 full-time employees will have a 25% contribution. Those who have 50% contribution would be those commercial businesses that exceed and go over 5 million in annual sales, or industrial people who have more than 125 full-time employees. So let's break down and try to understand the match. So your contribution match is based on the business size that we just went through in the chart. Contributions may include expenses not already included in the project cost, such as wages that you're paying for your staff while they're going through training, materials that you actually pay for that are used to support training, and wages paid to incumbent employees during training. That can all add back up to your match. So let's look at some examples of how that would work. In the grant calculator, this is an example for 25% match. Lori submits an application for the Workforce Solutions Grant in an open TIF community area. She is proposing training with the total eligible cost of $100,000 for her incumbent or current workers training. Over the past 3 years, Lori's hospitality business has grossed $4 million in annual sales. The breakdown of Lori's eligibility costs are as following. Since she is up to 5 million, this would be a 25% match. So total eligibility for her whole project is $100,000. Because her commercial match, her sales are over 1.5 but under 5 million, she's only looking at a 25% business contribution. So Workforce Solutions can grant her at $100,000, and then what she has to show in her contribution match is $25,000. Another example, and this one is at the 50% match contribution. Sam submits an application for the Workforce Solutions in an open TIF community area. He is proposing training with a total eligible cost of $200,000 for 20 current employees. Sam's manufacturing company employs 250 employees. So for industrial, he's well over the 125. So he's at 50% match. Here's the breakdown. The total eligible program cost that he's suggesting is $200,000. His industrial business gross sales plus 125 employees makes him equal for the 50% business match. Workforce Solutions grants him $200,000, and then he is contributing through his match up to $100,000. Grant calculator example for zero match contribution. Jessica applies for a Workforce Solutions grant in an eligible TIF community area. Her nonprofit organization serves the homeless at shelters throughout the city of Chicago. She is proposing training with the total eligible cost of $125,000 for her current incumbent workers training, and she also wants to do on-the-job training for two new hire positions. Over the last 3 years for her non-for-profit, she has grossed $450,000. This is below the 1.5 million, so she is at a zero match contribution. So the breakdown is that she's applying for project costs up to $125,000. The Workforce Solutions grant is granting her at $125,000, but she has no match required because she is a non-for-profit. So non-for-profits and businesses gross annual under 1.5 also are a zero match for contribution. Ineligible businesses. These are businesses types that we do not fund. If you are a chain business, branch banks, employment agencies, religious worship institutions, currency exchanges, payday loan stores, pawn shops, astrology palm reading stores, K through 12 schools, gas stations, liquor stores, bars and nightclubs, smoke shops, cigar lounges, adult uses, firearms stores or shooting ranges, massage parlors, hotels or motels, residential storage warehouses, track waging facilities, trailer storage yards, and junkyards. Of course, this is not a complete list. If you have any questions, please reach out to our office. Business location is very important. So if you are not in a TIF district, apply anyway, and E&ES will discuss options for other potential funding opportunities. This is where we spoke earlier about bond opportunities. In a TIF district with no funding, it just means that you're approved, but there's no funding there yet. So it's not currently eligible for Workforce Solutions. E&ES will notify you if and when the funding may be available, but we still want you to apply so that you are creating a wait list for those funds to come through. All are welcome to apply. If you feel that the upskilling and training is needed for your employees and they can benefit from this program, we want you to apply. If you know that you are hiring right now or within the year, or you have new people that you want to bring into your company to enhance the success of your business, this is a great opportunity for you to do that and get funds returned back to the business. TIF funding requires your business to be in one of the 27 TIF districts designated for the Workforce Solutions program. I want you all to take a moment and look at the different TIF areas that are currently funded for workforce solutions. And remember, these are not communities. The TIF areas are drawn very specifically. If you want to find out what TIF you are located in, please send us an email and let us know your address, and we will get back to you. Business location. Again, here is a map. It has some of the different TIF areas listed on it in the different colors. Our grant program is open to businesses citywide, whether you're in a TIF or outside of a TIF. Currently, to date, we're funded for 27 TIF districts that you just looked at the names of them on the past slide. Bond funds for 2025 have been fully allocated. However, we will be replenishing those funds in 2026. So you are encouraged to apply for bond in 2026. So if you're on this webinar and you feel like you're outside of a funded TIF area, don't write an application this year because you would just have to repeat that in 2026. But look at 2026 for applying if you fall in a bond area. And if you're unsure about if you fall in a bond area or not, please reach out to our office. These businesses outside of these districts are encouraged to still contact us so that you can go to the next level and the next steps. Here's our email address, workforcesolutions@eesforjobs.com. Reach out to us so that we can help you navigate. So here is when you're ready to apply for the application. We have created the Workforce Solutions website page. You just got the website page location. And when you first get on the page, this is what you'll see. And you can see here it has policies and procedures, so you can read about what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, who's eligible, who's not eligible. You can read that and what the process looks like through the policy and procedure manual. But also, this is where you can look to start the application process. You hit submit here, and it takes you out to the submittable platform, which is what we're using for the Workforce Solutions grant. This website page has a lot of great information for any applicant. So if you are applying and you go out to the submittable platform, this is what it looks like. It's orange. And you can go down and create your own account. You can create a password and a login so that you can go in and out of your grant application until you're ready to hit submit. We do ask you to reach out to us so that you can make sure that we take a good look at your application and answer any questions that you have. The initial application review process determines pre-eligibility. It takes about 1 to 2 weeks to actually complete our review. So now I want to kind of walk through the steps of what you would need to do and how long that would take. So here's a tentative timeline that would help you kind of see the amount of time you would put into applying for the grant. With bond, it's a little bit different. Your time may vary. Step 1, after you submit your application on submittable, we just looked at submittable, applicant is notified of their eligibility via submittal and asked to complete a training needs assessment. Step 2, the applicant proceeds with submitting the required documents. Step 3, once documents are reviewed and approved, E&ES sends applicant the recipient agreement to review and sign. Step 4, applicant submits executed recipient agreement to E&ES. Step 5, applicant is notified that contract has been executed and proceeded, and business receives their conditional award letter. applicant may begin training. So you don't start training until you get your award letter. So let's go up briefly and just look at the arrow so that you can see how each one of those steps have a time period that it takes before you can actually complete. So you get your eligibility notification in about 1 or 2 weeks after you submit your application, and then you submit your required documents. This takes 1 to 2 weeks. I encourage you all, a lot of people get caught at this stage where it takes them much longer than this because they're not submitting their documentation in a good period of time. So we will give you time periods to have that documentation submitted back to us so it can be in review. Then you'll get document approval after you're through review, and you'll receive a recipient agreement. That process of review and receiving your recipient agreement takes about 3 to 4 weeks. And then finally, contract executed and processed. So this takes about 3 weeks to get everything set up through the city so that you can actually have a contract and move forward and start training. Applicant approval and time-sensitive steps. So scofflaw and indebtedness check completed during the approval process. This is where you're submitting compliance with child support laws. You're verifying that you have no debt owed to the city, and you have to complete an economic disclosure statement through the city of Chicago. This is a time-sensitive step and needs to be done as soon as possible. There are going to be some required documents that you're going to have to submit to be in compliance with the city's regulations. You're going to need to complete a training needs assessment. You're going to have to show proof of revenue up to 2 to 3 years. You're going to have to provide us with a certificate of insurance. You're going to have to provide us with, we're going to give you those policies and procedures as I showed you on the Workforce Solutions website page. You're going to have to sign off saying that you read those procedures and you understand them. You're going to have to provide the economic disclosure statement, which you have to get that through the city of Chicago. Then there's a principal profile, child support affidavit, a copy of your business license, whether you are non-for-profit or a business, we're going to request a copy of your business license, a monitoring protocol requirement form, an ACH banking information so direct deposits can be made to you for your reimbursement. We're going to need from your trainer, your third-party trainer, we're going to need some training curriculum, a training schedule, the resumes of those trainers assigned to come out and train you, and references that those trainers are qualified. Training cost estimates and quotes from the trainers who you're thinking you want to come in and do training with your organization. And for new hires, we're going to need job descriptions. So reimbursement for your eligible costs. So you've paid for things, and then how do you get your reimbursement? Vouchers and documentation can be submitted for reimbursement after training sessions are complete and training providers are paid or wages are paid for new on-the-job hires. How frequently does this happen? Incumbent work and training, you can have up to 3 vouchers that can be submitted during the contract term, which is for 1 year. On the job training, monthly for a maximum of 13 weeks, which is 3 months. So every month you can put in a voucher to get those funds back. And also there's retention and closeout. Reimbursement for eligible costs. Step 1, documents submitted for reimbursement. Voucher forms, invoices, receipts, proof of payment, sign-in sheets for each training, and proof of payment in the form of pay stubs. Step 2, review and approval of submitted documents by E&ES and DPD. Then reimbursement can take 6 to 8 weeks, depending on the voucher and documents being accurate and complete at the time they're submitted. There are going to be visits and monitoring. So you're agreeing upon monitoring and compliance check-ins. submission of required attendance and wage reports, schedule site visits to observe training while it's taking place. Businesses stay in community for at least 3 years after having received the grant. Agreed upon annual follow-up discussions for 3 years to discuss business needs post-training. Follow-ups can include phone calls and/or emails. Closeout steps. Closeout report and final voucher documentation must be submitted when all training has been complete. Training business goals will be noted at the start of the contract period. The closeout report provides a summary of what the training accomplished, its impact, return on investment, and any challenges faced throughout the process. Pending funding, grant agreement, applicants may be eligible for an additional 2% administrative compensation upon completion of all of the closeout reports. Here are frequently asked questions. You will get a copy of this sent to you at the end of this. When we send out an email, you'll get these frequently asked questions to help you along the way as well. So here's some great additional resources provided by DPD. These are grants that you can apply for while you're still applying for Workforce Solutions. So there are Small Business Improvement Fund, grant funding for permanent building improvements and repairs. So many of you all asked me about this, and here the information is. Program participants can receive grants to cover between 30% and 90% of the cost of remodeling work, with a maximum grant of $150,000 for commercial properties and $250,000 for industrial properties. Take a minute if you want to use the QR code, you can do that. And I'll go on to the next one. Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, NOF, leverages funds generated by new development in the Loop to support corridors in Chicago's underserved communities and neighborhoods. North provides grants for up to $250,000 for businesses and property owners to pay for the construction or rehabilitation of properties that support new or expanding businesses or cultural assets. Take a moment, get those codes and get that information so that you can see if these are opportunities that are great for you as well. Then we have Community Development Grant, CDG, covers eligible new construction and renovation through proceeds from the 2024 Housing and Economic Development Bond and other funding sources. CDGs are available at 3 funding levels to support local commercial and light manufacturing projects via small, medium, and large grants. Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, BACP, serves as a key resource for Chicago businesses, offering guidance, training, and webinars to support growth and compliance. You can learn more about BACP programs and services by visiting chicago.gov/BACP. Well, it has been my honor to host you guys today and go through all of this information. I know it was a lot to take in, but my name again is Audrey Johnson. I'm your program director for the Workforce Solutions Grant. This is my phone number and my email address and our website page for Workforce Solutions. Feel free, if you think you are interested in the grant today, give me an email and let me know what your business address is so we can get to looking to see if you're in one of those 27 funded TIF areas, or if you're going to be looking at bond applications going into next year, 2026. So we're going to open it up for questions, but also listed here is Lahia Everez if you want to contact them directly. She's the coordinator of economic development, and here's her email and their website page. And after this is all over and we finish with questions and everything, then we will send you an email Once the video is ready, and you will get a copy of this slide deck, you will get the frequently asked questions, and you'll get a copy of the video so that you can go over that information if you have any additional questions, and you also can share that with other business owners. So at this point in time, we're going to ask you all if you have any questions. There's a few of us that'll be answering them. You can put it in the chat. We have both Lahia and David here from the city that'll be answering questions. Anissa and myself will be answering questions. So if you want to come raise your hand, then I will recognize you. If you just want to put something in the chat, the other team will be answering those questions. So let's try and see if we can get your questions answered today. Anybody want to raise their hand? And then I'll ask you to come off mute. You can also put questions in our Q&A section on the bottom of your screen. Don't be shy. Okay, Garland, you raised your hand. You can come off mute and then I'll try to answer your question. Garland.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Great. So you said it reimburses third party. How does it work for on the job training?
So you understand the incumbent trainer. You're going to go out and find a third party trainer to come in. You're going to get quotes from them, and then you're going to submit that to us. If you're doing on the job training, you hire individuals under the program. Like you tell us ahead of time, I want 3 full-time people and 2 part-time people, right? By the time you're approved by the grant, you get 13 weeks to train that person where we're going to reimburse you for their salary for those 13 weeks. So the training is you working with them on the job training every day. You're working with them and they're learning the job as they go along. We help cement you as a business by returning those funds to you and keeping the business rolling.
Okay. Do I need to create a like a curriculum for that or?
No, it's on the job training. So it's just like when you normally hire people. If you have a curriculum and that's what you run people through, that is totally different. So that's different from the incumbent training. So OJT, you're getting return salaries for those people as you train them on the job for that 90-day period.
Okay. Thank you. I understand now.
Sure. Anybody else want to raise your hand and come off mute and ask your question? Anybody else? I know you are getting questions answered in the chat as well. Okay, let me see. Who else? Nazim, Nazim. You raise your hand. Can you come off mute?
I'm off mute.
Yes, there you go. What can I answer for you?
Is this considered like an apprenticeship program for the people that actually, or for the businesses that actually are able to get the grant and start the process?
So I must say it's not like an apprenticeship program, right? It's an employment program, but we do have a small percentage of funds next year that can be utilized for apprenticeships under the bond funding. But for the TIF, I would say no, that's not for apprenticeship. That is for your staff, not your clients, but for the people who are W-2 who work under your agency. And I will say this one thing too for everybody. So we do not include 1099 independent contractors as your staff too. These have to be W-2 wage people who you're sending through training that you want to upscale them, right? But that they're staying with you. They're staying with the company. Just like with the OJT, there have to be permanent part-time or permanent full-time because they're coming onto your staff and they're staying with you. but the city is granting you a benefit, a financial benefit of paying you 3 months of those individuals' salary. But there is a huge distinction between that and an apprenticeship program. If you do run an apprenticeship program, you can apply for the apprenticeship program, but it's competitive under bond and there's a limited amount of funding.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
I think you did, but I don't want to take up all the time.
No, just get your clarity. I'm gonna go to Antonio next, but
So-
make sure you have clarity in what
So
I'm saying.
my clarity is, or what I need for clarity, that even though I understand it's for employment staff, I'm gonna take myself for an example, because I'm not a non-for-profit. I'm a for-profit business, construction and construction company. And there's certain certifications like RRP, like lead and asbestos, like when I'm working jobs, people that have this training, they get moved to the front and they get hired. So I'm trying to see if I can use this type of funding for my current staff and new staff, because obviously I have more work in the wintertime and in the summertime than I do in the wintertime, to in these different areas so they can stay working with me throughout the time.
And they can get their certification. So
Exactly.
in that case, how you just explained it, that's a yes, yes, yes. But those people have to be W-2 under your company name. And you also, as an owner, can benefit from those training certificates and things that you all need to move the company forward so that you can get more business and be at the front of the line. So, but they can't be 1099 independent contractors. They have to be your staff. And they have to be, on your payroll. And then, yes, you can do the incumbent training with them, get them whatever certifications, but you have to find a third-party organization that's going to come in and offer that training to your staff and yourself. You cannot train within your own company
I had
and
a
get paid for it from us. You have to find a third-party trainer that's qualified to come in and provide you with those licenses and certificates.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Antonio Cooper, you can unmute and come offline.
All right, thank you, Audrey, and thank you for the great presentation and this opportunity.
Thank you.
Absolutely, I'm so glad that I met you. But I have a question. So the trainers, okay, that we hire, do they have to be W-2 employees? Because I got like an example, like I have a project in Roseland that I'm working on. So I would like to hire a gentleman that's well versed in like HVAC, and then I would like to hire someone that has electrical experience, and then a gentleman that has just like carpentry experience, like 3 different trades trainers to train our employees on like expanding their trades that they could that they may be interested in doing. Like is that something that we
So cause your language is throwing me off a little bit. So when you say hire them, you mean hire them contractually to come in and
right?
train your people? Then
Yes.
yeah, if they are certified to be able to offer that training, which we're gonna vet them as a
Okay.
third-party trainer, but they're
Okay.
not on your staff,
They're
correct?
not on my staff. No.
Right. You go out, you find these people who have these unique skills, you do your research, and
Okay.
then when you're filling out your application, it's going to ask you to list how many trainings do you want for your current people. And are all your
Okay.
current people W-2 employees?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, then they're your employees and they qualify for this training. So
Okay.
you contact them individually, get them to give you a quote, because when you're filling out the application,
Mhm.
you need to be able to state who the trainer is,
Okay.
what's the name of the training, how many
Mhm.
hours the training is going to take, and how many people are going to be trained and what the cost is.
Okay.
That's a part of your application. Then you're going to upload the quote that you get from that trainer so that that information that supports the cost when we're reviewing your application.
Okay, yeah, that sounds wonderful. Now, now the project that we're working on is in Roseland. It's not a commercial, it's a like a residential location. Is that able to qualify? Is that eligible for a training?
I don't think that we look so much at where your projects are and what you're
Okay,
hiring for. It's
okay,
more the location comes into play with where's your business address located at? Where are you doing business out of for your business? That's
okay,
the address that has to go through the city clearinghouse to see if you're in a TIF.
okay, okay.
Not the projects that you, because your projects could change from project to project. You know, you could be all
Mhm.
over the city, but where are you housed? Where are those people's office that they're reporting to?
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So if I got it, my office is on Michigan Avenue and that's located in the TIF zone, but we're doing a project in Roseland, would that qualify us?
So we wouldn't look at your projects, right? Because those are
Okay.
your individual contract projects that you're working on. We
Mhm.
know the work of construction can be everywhere, but
Yes, ma'am.
whether or not your business sits in a TIF area is going to be based on the address where your that you do business out of.
Okay. 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 Yeah, that makes sense. So
So
I will
that's
have
the
to do
address
the
you need to
research.
email me so I can send it through the clearinghouse to see if it comes back in a TIF area or not. Let's just say you say Michigan Avenue, it comes back it's not in a TIF area. Then
Okay.
that means you would qualify for bond funding, which will open in first quarter of next year. So you want to look, it's a little bit more competitive with bond,
Sure.
but it would be an opportunity for you to still be funded.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, that's good to know. So we got some different options and stuff if this one is not the one that will work for us.
Okay, sounds great. Just email me your address. We'll get it on the list. It takes about a week to get that information back, and then you can follow back up with us and decide if you want to write the application.
Okay,
Audrey,
fantastic. I got one more question. I
Hold on,
wasn't
Antonio.
okay.
Did you want to add
sorry.
something to?
Yes, thank you, Audrey. Hi, Mr. Cooper. This is
Thank
Likia
you.
with
Hi.
DPD. So I just wanted to add, because it sounds like the trainings that you're seeking are very technical, electrical, HVAC.
Yeah.
As you're looking into these trainers, make sure that they have the credentials, as Audrey stated. I just want to emphasize that. We do our
Okay.
due diligence, so we make sure that you're working with accredited institutions,
Hmm.
especially because these, as you know, anything working with these levels of, uh, really of credential, like when it comes to electricity and such, it
Hmm.
requires more knowledge. So make
Yeah.
sure that you're working with the right institution before
Mhm.
you actually make sure that you confirm with someone. So just
Okay.
wanted to throw that out there. Look at credentials. We will definitely look at that
Okay.
as we approve the training providers. And sorry, go ahead. You had a second question.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Um, so yeah, no, that kind of like answered my question right there. I do appreciate that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting in the application, and then I wanted to know exactly how long do we have until the deadline for the application.
So we're on a rolling application, so there's no deadline right now.
Hmm.
The program was just relaunched earlier this year. So right now, there's no deadline. There is the chance that funding could be exhausted in certain areas.
Hmm.
But we are looking at funds replenishing in 2026. But
Okay.
once we get down into the process and we get your application, we'll notify you what's going on with the particular TIF area that you fall into.
Okay, fantastic. Now I do have another question. I just thought of something. So if we're working with these certified trainers and we have to buy let's say appliances like an air conditioner to put into a unit or a furnace or electrical box, is that eligible for cost?
No, we don't pay for any equipment. We don't pay for any materials. We
Mhm.
only pay for things. And I say it again, I always say training, training, training. So
Mhm.
we pay for the trainer who comes out and upskills your staff or yourself. We pay for the funds for those people who are on the job training, learning as they go along.
Mhm.
And we only pay for that up to 3 months, but the only materials that we would really pay for is like maybe a uniform, maybe depending on if it's related to the business, or workbooks that are specifically related to the training
Okay.
that they would need to complete the training.
Okay, so it wouldn't be nothing like 2x4s and duct
Nope.
work or nothing
Nope.
like that.
No materials.
training.
No, that's that's outside of training. That's within your company. So
Mhm.
we only pay for the trainers, the facilitation of training.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mhm. I want to hope I say your name correctly. Is it Araceli Cabreles Mendia? I know you had your hand up for a while, so I wanted to cycle back to you. Can you come off of mute? Did I say it right? Can you say your first name for
My
me?
name is it's Araceli.
Araceli. Okay,
You were
okay.
close.
How can I help you?
My question is around eligibility. You mentioned that K through 12 is schools are not eligible. So we are a
Yes.
nonprofit that provides programming in K through 12 schools. Would that make us ineligible for this specific
No,
grant?
you're a separate entity. You're not
Right.
a school. So you're a non-for-profit that may be doing after-school program or some type of programming within the school, but you're not a school.
Correct. Yes.
So yeah, as a non-for-profit, you would be eligible to get training for your staff that, could be working with those kids, but it must be your W-2 staff that are under the company.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Sure,
Answered
not a
my
problem
question.
at all. Janelle Price. Janelle, if you still have a question, you can come off mute.
I think Garland is
Janelle,
next. I think Janelle lowered her hand.
okay. Garland.
Hi, and just another quick question. Is there a list already of some of the trainers that have been vetted already?
Oh, that is such a great question because we're in the midst of working on that now. We actually are about to launch a website page where trainers will be able to go on, fill out an application, and we will vet them. And then everybody who's applying for the grant will have access to that. We're not there yet, Garland. We're working on it. So hopefully that will come down the line very quickly here. But to that point, the research right now is kind of on the businesses to look at Chicago trainers and different companies that would supply you with the training that you need. We do ask you all to stay local as well. In the city of Chicago, there are as many trainers that can meet your needs. And the only time you would even look at a trainer that say is not in Chicago is if that type of training would not be offered in Chicago.
Thank you.
And Garland, somebody just put something in the chat about training. So that could be one of your resources to check out as well.
Hi, Miss Audrey. Thank you so much again for this presentation. It was very informative, and it was
Thank you.
also a pleasure to meet you at the building welfare today and tomorrow.
Oh, okay,
event as well.
great.
Yes, ma'am. So I still wanted to come on because you had addressed me, but Garland asked the question that I had, which was, do you have a list of preferred trainers already? But you just answered that question, so thank you.
No, thank you. Okay, great. I'm glad we got your question answered as well. Anybody else? I don't see hands on my side. Anissa, you see anybody else with their hand up? Garland, do you have a second question or you just left your hand up from last time? Okay.
That was an accident.
No problem. Anybody else? We have a few more minutes.
Yes, Gail has a question.
Gail, please come off your mute so we can hear your question.
Okay. I have a nonprofit. I currently have no employees, but I would like to have some. What we need training right now in is marketing and social media strategies. Can I use the program to find a trainer to do that, to officially hire an
To
employee
train yourself. If you're the
or to
only
train myself?
employee,
Yeah.
that's fine. You know, marketing is how you learn how to get yourself out there so that you can get, you know, more attention, more information, more people, everything. So definitely, as the owner, you can apply for training for yourself to upscale you till you
Okay.
get to that point. So as far as employees, it's not like we pay for you to hire new employees. You have to have a budget already to hire people. If you do hire people and they are City of Chicago residents, then you qualify to get 3 months of their salary back. That's the
Oh,
part of the grant that's beneficial to people who are hiring. And I'll just say that to anybody that's still left on the call too. This is a great opportunity. If you know you're going to hire any employees between say now and next year, you want to apply for this and then at least get that benefit of those 3 months of training, their salaries returned to the business. And that's a chunk of finances that help the business keep doing business and stay in business.
mhm. And then the second question I had is, does your business address need to be a brick and mortar? Because
Yes.
okay, okay,
Yes. So it doesn't mean you have to own a building, but you could be renting somewhere, you can have office space somewhere, but it needs to be in a city of Chicago and preferably in one of the TIF areas where funding is available.
okay, okay. All right, thank you.
Sure, no problem. I see people are still putting questions in the chat. Feel free to do that. We have about 2 more minutes left. Again, to everyone, if you would like for us to check your address, please send an email to the Workforce Solutions website page. We will put you on our clearinghouse list that goes to the city, and that way we can let you know if you are in a TIF area. If you are in a TIF area that's not funded right now, like Lahia said earlier, there's over 125 TIFs. We only are funded for 27. If you go, we still want you to fill out an application because your application sits and you're first in line or second in line to be funded as soon as that TIF is funded. So we encourage everybody to apply. And even if you fall that you're outside of any of the TIF areas, that you would be eligible to apply for bond funding come 2026. Okay, I don't see any other hands raised. I'm gonna give you all in the chat. I see the chat is still populating questions. We'll give you another minute or two and we'll end right at 11. Again, thank you guys so much for everything. Reach out to us. You're gonna get an email from me in a couple of hours that will have this presentation that we did today in it. It'll have frequently asked questions and maybe the video. And then follow back up with us if you need any assistance.
Okay.
I see somebody just put what are the qualifications for the trainer. So you want to find certified people who can provide the training for you, right? And that they're used to doing training on a regular basis, that this is their profession. So we will vet them as well, but you need to do your research as employers to find good qualified trainers who can actually provide you the certification, licensing, or even professional development training that you deserve at a high level. You're so welcome. Hi, Ms. Brooks. I see a lot of people that I've met over the time. So we're looking forward to you all putting in quality applications. If you need support, please reach out to our office. We're there to support you and help you through the process. I want to wish everybody to have a great day for the rest of your day. We're going to be ending the call now, but thanks again for your participation and have a wonderful day. Okay, I'm about to end the presentation. You guys have a great day. Bye.